right.
Finance Committee meeting April 21st, 2025. Councilor Smith.
Here.
Gwaltney.
Here.
Allman's out. Brandt.
Here.
And Harden's out. So you got 3.
All right. John may wander in. I don't know. I haven't heard from him today, but this is gonna be another night where Gwaltney Brandt is gonna be the mix. Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading and approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Motion for Mr. Gwaltney. Second for Mr. Brandt. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. 3-0. Those are approved. Old business agenda 020225. Request permission to provide an update on the Kenilworth Storm Project, which has moved right along. Mr. Smith, you want to give us a quick update?
Yeah, we're getting really close. We're doing some final grading in the back of John Wood's house on Homewood Drive last Friday, and hopefully they'll be wrapping up this week.
Okay. I heard from our friend who lives on the corner. I don't want to say her name on the public thing. There's still that pile of metal rods. They did not pick those up. I thought they had gotten them when they picked up everything else. They did not. And the ladder is still laying there, and there is a weird broom that's like thrown into their yard.
A weird broom?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I'll talk to you more about it, but if we could get them to remove that, that'd be great. Okay, all right, so we'll keep this on the agenda until that project is completely wrapped up so that we can get our final cost and all that goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then our second old business item is 240325, request permission to consider property issue at 1832 25th Court South. We are still working on this because we're getting a new survey, which is partially done but not completely done. So without objection, we're gonna carry this one over until we get that survey finalized and figure out what we're dealing with. So carrying that one over for now. Again, new business 010425, request to accept quote to add Tyler payments to the existing agreement with Tyler Enterprise Permitting and Licensing. This is all to do with the system. I'll let you update us, Mr. Pugh.
Yes, so the big EPL system that's coming very soon. In our original contract, they did not include the price for the payment portal. So now that we're getting close, they finally gave us a price. It's $2,800, $2,836 will be the addition. I'm gonna budget for it, so I don't need the money now, and it'll come from contractual services. But what I need now is just approval to sign the
Agreement.
contract so we can move forward. with
Okay. All right, so
business.
like motion not to, we don't need any new money, we just need to approve signing the contract with them.
Don't need a motion, we do need a motion.
Yeah, we do need a
I'll
motion.
make the motion to approve the construction.
Okay, motion for Mr. Brandt.
Second.
Second for Mr. Gwaltney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
3-0. That is approved. 020425, request for consideration of a mid-year budget review from myself. I would tell you, oh, hello, Mr. Harden here. All right, we got 4. Mr. Jones is interested in this as well. As per our fiscal policy created by the council, and Walter could tell you the year a long time ago. Part of our requirement is that we have a mid-year budget review 6 months after we approve our budget, which is April 2025. And obviously it is not happening in April because it is not on, it has not been added to, it has not been added to a council agenda, and I'm not sure where we are. So Mr. Smith, you want to speak to where we are and when we might be able to do this?
Yes, they're currently, we can probably go ahead and prepare one up through February. They're currently in the midst of still trying to close out the year end for March, okay? But if you'd like, we can go ahead and do one up through February and probably have that to you all sometime in May.
I think we should definitely do that, just so that, yes, sir. I see your hand up.
Months.
Oh, okay, oh, you're counting, yes. No, we'll be overdue, or past due. But I think, we've got to get this done because we don't want to violate our own fiscal policy. And obviously there's a lot going on, outside of that. So, I think we have reasons, but I definitely want to go ahead and get it done. So,
So it'll actually be for the 5 months ending, soon for this fiscal year. So
Sure.
it'll be for the 5 months ending February.
whatever, 28. And do you feel confident that we can do that in our committee meeting on March the, God bless America, May the 7th, which would be the first committee meetings of that month?
we will shoot for that date. I'll let you know within the next 24, 48 hours if
Okay.
there's an issue, okay? But we will definitely shoot for that. And I believe Councilor Jones forwarded over some information of, I think, what y'all were to receive in the past. I don't
Yes.
think y'all received one in a long time, so we'll get that information together, and we'll do the best we can to put it in that format.
Yeah, okay.
May, just.
yes, sorry.
May 5th is a Monday.
Oh, okay, sorry, May
May 7th is a
5th.
Wednesday.
May 5th, okay, sorry, yes, I just got my dates confused. Yeah, May 5th, that, for whatever that first May, Monday is. No, I think that is. Because I know we're gonna change our meeting dates because of Memorial Day, but I think that won't affect that date. If anything, we might have a council meeting, but I don't think so. I think that's later in the month that's gonna be affected. Okay, so we will carry this item over for that 5-7 meeting, and then if you can just let me know as soon as you have that. And then while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and ask about, I'm pretty sure we were supposed to have already had our audit complete. When should we expect that to be done so that we can get that final report?
There's a meeting scheduled tomorrow morning with Glenn and the auditors. The audit's actually scheduled to be complete April 30th. I think that speaking with the auditors, that will be the quickest turnaround since maybe 2020. So I felt pretty good. We kicked it off January 20th.
I was about to say, they got a really late start, so
Right.
the fact that it's quick is probably good since they got such a late start.
Right. And a lot of that, we've got to talk about that, and we've talked about it with the staff, is their start date is totally controlled by how quick the city's able to get the year end done and to them. We would like to target a start date of usually in December. The biggest, or the most important date everybody needs to be aware of is that June 30th date. June 30th is when, if we're required to submit a single audit, we have to have that to the federal government. But April 30th should be complete. That will be both the financial audit as well as a single audit.
Okay. And so then we can get that on, what we might do then is on that April 28th meeting, I'd like to go ahead and put that on the agenda so that it can be in the committee scheduled to have that report. And after y'all have the meeting with them tomorrow, y'all can let me know if that seems doable. All right, so we'll carry that item over for that mid-year budget review, hopefully on 5-7. Okay, 03-04-25, request for consideration to pay 2 past due invoices 2023 and 2024 for Big Sky Environmental, coming to us from our Public Services Director, Berkley Squires. Mr. Squires had to go over and look at a storm drain for someone, and he asked that I talk about this. There are 2 invoices. The 2024 invoice slipped through the cracks when Robin was transitioning from Public Works over to the court. She works now with Laura. And somehow that Big Sky invoice somehow fell through the cracks. Huh? Oh, she's now retired. Okay. At this point, she was moving over to the court. And the second one, the 2023 one, they had in their files, Berkley had it in his files as having been paid, but when they went back and looked at everything and spoke to Melanie, it had in fact not been paid, and I believe it is 13, there's one that's 13,000.
That's the 14,000, and there's one that's 23,687.70.
Okay, and so both of these obviously were supposed to have been paid, and obviously at the time were budgeted, but we're now far past when they were done. But I think we've worked it out so that I think that we're not gonna get late fees. I'm not sure. We need to discuss that with Berkley, but there was some mention that he had been talking to them, but we need to get these paid, obviously.
What is Big Sky Environmental?
They're our landfill. Our
Okay.
landfill,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Do we agree with the 23?
Yeah. No, he had it marked as paid, but then once they went back down the rabbit hole with Melanie and went back through, and they actually called the bank. It had never been paid. They don't know why it had been marked as paid and had not been, but that's what happened. So those are the 2 invoices, and we do need to get them paid because they are obviously
We
very
need a
past due.
motion.
Yes, we do. Yes.
I just want to point of clarification, I guess, or question. This is for what we do directly with Big Sky, and it absent of anything within our Amway's contract, correct?
No, this is us.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
Because I just figured that was going to be a question later. So
Yeah, I mean, and
that
it has
you may
like
get. So this is for what we budget annually
yes.
to take to the dump.
And it's basically, I mean, it has like all the tonnage fees and everything that shows you what we're dumping. Yeah, this is
Okay.
the stuff that we're dumping. So,
Thanks.
yes, sir.
Make
Oh.
a motion for approval?
Okay. Motion to
Second.
approve from Mr. Gwaltney, second from Mr. Harden to pay those invoices. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That is 4-0 now. Next item is 040425, request permission for the city manager to execute contracts for an Oxmoor Road Diet construction, coming to us from Mr. Smith. This is the area in front of Dawson where we are going to thin Oxmoor down and add some additional parking.
Yeah, so we budgeted last summer, scroll down, Brian, if you would. $295,000 for this project. We thought it was gonna be a little more invasive than it actually is, since the design was done. And then once the design got done, I talked to Berkley and we figured out that we could use the paving contract, for $58,000 but to be paid from this account. And then also, we're gonna contract with Gillespie for the concrete work for $28,440, and then landscaping, curb appeal will come in and backfill the landscape islands, the topsoil, and I think he's got 3 trees that we can plant. So they're gonna do that. So the total is $96,362.19. And I sent you guys the contracts and my contracts earlier today. So we're way under budget in this budgeted account. So I'll also, there has been a lot of talk about this project in the past few weeks. Folks from Dawson have called. I know they've called. Melanie
I heard from someone
and
today.
Jennifer heard from somebody today. Alex has heard from some folks. So this will be the last chance we get to talk about the project before we actually go to construction.
Yeah, can we, Brian, can you put the actual schematic up there, please?
I heard some concerns about safety exiting the parking deck. I will say there is a police officer on duty on Sundays and Wednesdays. I will also say that I park in front of my church at Trinity, so. just-
It was in a different.
It was in a different document, but he sent that as well.
It was attached to the same email, just a different PDF.
Oh, this, sorry, my bad.
Yep, that's it. So go down to the next page. I'm sorry, keep going. One more. Yep, so this is Dawson, this is the gas station, here's the parking deck. So we're gonna neck that road down and add parallel parking spaces
Give me a second.
along both sides of the curb.
It's not angled.
It's not
No,
angled, it's
'cause
parallel.
originally it was angled,
That's right.
but that has changed,
Okay.
and they are gonna be parallel spaces now.
Yep.
Which to me, I think there was concern with the parallel,
That's what we
with
do in
the,
front of
with the,
Trinity.
Yeah, we
yes,
talked
right,
about that,
yes.
pulling out.
Because pulling out and pulling it, pulling out particularly from the parking deck, people might not, backing out and might not be able to see, but these are gonna be parallel spaces that will be able to be seen. There will be visibility.
This is
Whoa.
also the same thing that was done in front of OLS and very successful.
That's right.
Yes.
It helps slow traffic.
Yeah.
It has a lot of benefits, and similar to there.
Oh, in
it's also-
Oxmoor, yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Oxmoor, in front of OLS by the library.
How many parking spaces are we picking up?
I don't know.
32?
32, you said?
I think it's like 30-ish.
Yeah, cause there's, 11, 22, 24,
Go down to the next one, Brian.
Oh, it's on both sides.
yeah, 24,
28.
28.
I thought it was
Oh,
just
no,
on the
29.
Dawson
There's another,
side
that little
itself.
one over there, or is that what that is?
It's on both sides. Yeah. so
Yeah.
29.
29.
Wow.
That's a lot of spaces.
Well, Edgewood, I'd be happy
So we
about
took
that.
out that middle line altogether.
Correct.
That,
That's right.
and did we end up doing away with any design work around that gas station curb?
We left it. I met with him a couple of times. Rocky is the tenant, and then the owner. We all met out there, and we're going to provide some striping for them. So go back up, Brian, if you would. I'm sorry. I know I'm. Yeah, so here, they will be able to come in here and access the pumps, but they were concerned about folks leaving their cars here to go into the store for whatever. And we're just gonna stripe no parking right there.
And we did close off the exit from Evergreen. Is that closed off or still?
No, nothing on Evergreen. No
Okay.
work is being done on
Okay,
Evergreen.
that's what I was wondering. Okay, thanks.
All right. Does anybody have any additional questions for Cale?
You guys can make
And this is simply for Glenn to be able to sign the contract with the various vendors
The
that
two
Cale
contracts.
mentioned, the 2 contracts for concrete.
And each parking space is gonna be designated, striped. We got six, we'll have 6 designated parking spaces.
That's right, marked by these little cross.
Right, okay.
I'll make the motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
Motion to approve from Mr. Brandt, second from Mr. Gwaltney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
4-0. Any, no, because everybody said aye. 050425, request for consideration for the council to appoint a temporary judge, coming to us from J.J. Bischoff and our new court administrator, Laura Roberts, who is here. And I'm gonna let her come up and explain this to y'all, but for everybody who has not been introduced to Laura, Laura took over for John and has been doing, by all accounts, a bang-up job of working through our court. We have a little bit of backup, so
Yes, we
explain.
have a lot of backup. And so I've been working through that. Our judge now that, he's been here quite a while, Judge Jones, he's amazing, but he's also in a couple other different courts that it's hard to get him here on all the days that I need him. And I did a preliminary run of our backlog of warrants, and so from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2024, we have over 4,000 warrants, and that's a lot. And so I kind of need some help getting those purged and looked at, as well as cases. Because the caseload is really heavy, we have to have court a little bit more, and I just don't have Judge Jones available for those days. So that's what I'm looking at, and hopefully having that extra person in will help get some things turning and get things cleaned up a little bit faster.
And you said you already had an idea of.
I do. John Amari Jr. He's worked with me before. He is an attorney, of course, here in Birmingham, does a lot of work, does a lot of criminal work. He also works with Trustful as their public defender, and he fills in various places as judges and special masters down in the criminal and district domestic relations courts. So.
And if I can dogpile on this,
Sure.
The original request was to add the second one, but I felt that the next council should have
Correct.
the decision on the next permanent judge. And that's why I said, hey, hold off, and then JJ and her talked about having a part-time.
Yeah.
or a
So
second.
originally there were 2, and then one retired, and that position was never filled. And so after speaking with both of them, it's just best to maybe to do a temporary, and then, like I said, let the next council come in and they decide who they want, whether it be keeping who we have or someone new. But temporary is great, and that will be a tremendous help to me.
Okay.
So.
I'll make a motion.
All right.
Second.
Motion for Mr. Brandt, second for Mr. Gwaltney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That is,
Temporary would be through
October.
I would say take it to the next council,
November.
run it up to 1 November and have
Okay.
an extension through December,
Okay.
so that they have
Y'all just
time.
tell me, I don't care. I just need to know.
I just say go ahead and, I mean, if you want to, just go ahead and say through November 30.
Yeah, or
and then-
December 31st.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
yeah,
not gonna
just
be
take
able
it through
to
the end of the year, because they're not gonna
They're
come
not
in and immediately do it. So I'd just say,
Okay.
take it through
Absolutely.
December 31st, 2025.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that works. I don't think anybody will question that. 060425, request for consideration of a budget amendment for line item transfer coming to us from Chief Broadhead, but his deputy chief is here for us, and I believe this is for salaries to overtime. You want to explain to
Correct.
us what and how much?
Just throughout the year with some staffing circumstances that we've come and put in, a lot of injuries and people out as well. Yeah, we're just kind of running through our overtime quicker than what we did. But with a couple of our battalion chiefs that have actually put in for retirement, Chief Broadhead kind of looked ahead and felt comfortable with that number as far as moving that money.
And what is the number? I have.
115,000.
Okay, 115. And it's coming out of the salaries line item and going to the overtime line item.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you thinking that's gonna, between now and the end of our fiscal year?
Chief Broadhead believes so.
I don't think there's any way to predict that,
Yeah,
because you
I'm
never
just-
know what
I'm
might
just
happen,
guessing where his, yeah.
It's an estimate.
yeah, it's an estimate, a guesstimate, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, that's the way again, part of it, we didn't plan at one point earlier, a couple months ago, we had 8 guys out on either light duty or injured. I mean, you can't really plan for that, and you gotta backfill them. So, I mean, luckily, we've only got 2 guys out right now.
That's good.
But everybody else is back, so that's our best estimate we can give you.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right.
15,000 transferred from
salaries.
salaries to overtime.
Yep.
Second.
All right, I have a motion for Mr. Harden and a second for Mr. Gwaltney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
4-0, that is approved. 070425 as a request for consideration to add a street light at 1455 Overlook Road, coming from myself and Mr. Hambley. And this is at the request of a resident, a neighbor on that street. And I've been out there with her, and it's actually from her son, her little boy, who goes to Edgewood. And they had, he had an event at Edgewood tonight, and they weren't able to come to the meeting, so I reached out to Andy, and we're gonna carry this over both on public safety and finance. And she's already got it on her calendar to be here on May 7th, so they'll come in and talk to us about it then. So with no objection, I'm gonna carry that item over until May 7th. And then 210425 is our last item. Request to upgrade the position of Revenue Examiner 18 to Senior Revenue Examiner 21, coming to us from our city clerk, Mr. Segrist, and this is in relation to Julie Hambley. So you want to
Yes.
tell us all about it?
So, Ms. Hambley is in the city clerk's office, and she is operating right now as a revenue examiner. And this will upgrade her to a senior revenue examiner. The revenue examiner is a grade 18, and she will be a 21. And Mountain Brook has posted that they are looking for a senior revenue examiner. She took the test and qualified, and they sent her a notice back that she qualified for the senior revenue examiner position. Ms. Hambley is a vital part, not only of my office, but of this city. As of right now, we have made budget already in business license, and this is the largest business license budget that we've had so far in the history of the city.
Yeah, if y'all will remember, we kind of put a little pressure on Bo during budget season last year to increase his target budget and for how much they would bring in. And he at first was like, I don't want to do that. And then he agreed to up it, and it is a big budget, and they have already made it because of the work of those ladies.
And so we've made budget, and right now we stand at $18,000 over budget. It's still very early in the season, and we're not finished by a long shot. I've asked these young ladies to find $250,000 of lost revenue. I wouldn't put it past them to get it, and so I just asked for the committee to please consider this. I actually, at the midnight hour, realized that last year we had a contract with Iron Mountain that we no longer have anymore, and this money is in our maintenance contracts, and I'm wanting to move the money to cover this upgrade. It's going to be about a $5,500 hit to salaries, and there's more than enough money in maintenance contracts to cover this. And so I would like to pull that money from the maintenance contracts account and put it towards my salaries to cover Ms. Hambley's upgrade, if you guys will allow me the opportunity.
We don't want to lose her amount, bro.
I'll make the motion to retain that, upgrade the position of Ms. Hambley.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
Motion from Mr. Brandt.
Second.
Second from
They
Mr.
are the only
Harden.
ones that are making money.
They making some money. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is 4-0. They're not the only ones making money, but they are continuing to make money, and we're very proud of that and very glad for that. All right, that is approved 4-0, and we have no items on the table. So with that, without objection, we are adjourned.